friends, it's Melissa with Storyteller Stitchery, and it is December 1st, first day of Vlogmas. So I am very excited to be back recording a video. It's been months since I last recorded anything, and I don't think I'm going to be making a daily Vlogmas video, but I do plan to record a lot more and kind of share when I have some fun things going on. So if you're new to Storyteller Stitchery, welcome. I do hand-dyed yarn, fibre for spinning and felting, and then silk embroidery threads, and everything, like I say, everything is hand-dyed and inspired by stories, so characters and adventures and themes and places from books. So first thing I want to share is our advent calendar for this year, so I'm very excited about it. This is it. So it is Chronicles of Narnia is the theme for this one. So you can see we have the wardrobe from Narnia as the advent box, and in the back just has a little kind of keepsake information. And then with your so we only offer this as a yarn advent, and it is it was offered on fingering and DK weight, both of them 100% superwash merino. And when you step through the wardrobe into Narnia, and then you have all of the different days of yarn. So yeah, let's just jump right into it and open day one. Let's see if I can do it kind of on camera. If I fail spectacularly, then I'll just pull it out off camera, but we'll see what we can manage on camera. All right, so for day one, okay. And the colorways obviously are all inspired by Narnia and kind of taking a story approach. So, and this one is the DK weight that I have for myself. Alright, so that is day one. So if I don't record a video every day, I mean, maybe I'll try and like record just at least opening the advents every day. But if I don't, I'll kind of do catch-ups, so you can see the colours and the progression of the colours through the 24 days. I did create a Ravelry bundle that is a collection of like patterns that would work well with yarn advents. And so because I did fingering and DK weight in this year's advent, there are pattern suggestions for both weights, and there's also crochet and knit patterns. So I'll link that in the notes below. So if you have a yarn advent calendar and you're looking for a pattern still for what you might like to do, you can just go take a look on there and kind of scroll through. It's just a free resource, and it kind of links a bunch of different patterns on Ravelry, so that might help you find one. There's some really cool ones. There's a mix of like sweaters and shawls and blankets and all kinds of different things. Oh, and I should also say, also with the advent, everybody got a tote bag, and so this one is like a drawstring, kind of like a little, so it does a drawstring like a little backpack, and it has obviously Aslan and the lamppost from Narnia, the wardrobe, which is the doorway into Narnia, Care Paraval, and then the shield with Aslan on. And the quote says, "One day you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again," which is a C.S. Lewis quote. So everybody got one of these. And also, and if you got the advent, if you haven't looked in your tote bag yet, that's where you'll find these, because I shipped them in the tote bag to make sure they wouldn't get lost in transit. So we have this little pouch, and it holds your stitch markers. So I generally put my stitch markers onto a pin like this with this lobster claw, so that you can actually hang it off your project bag. And it just means you can, you know, throw some extra stitch markers on notions on there, but you can kind of keep it safe on your project bag. And then let's see if I can hold these up in a way that you can see them. So there are three kind of main stitch markers. So we have, let's see if we can get it to focus. So we have Aslan, and we have, maybe I'll flip them like that. We have the crown, and obviously had to include the lamppost in Narnia with some trees and snowflakes. And then I also added a little snowflake charm, which is also on a pin, so you could use this one. And I added a silver pin on this one so that you had, you know, the three blue ones for obviously winter inspired by Narnia. And then the snowflake, I added a silver pin so that you have one that's a different colour. So if you wanted to use it for like beginning of round, or just something, you know, if you wanted to have something as kind of a visual reminder of something a little bit different. But they're all on pins, so crochet friends, knitting friends, you can all use them. Yep. So that is that. So I'm excited to see you know, people opening them and starting to create and make their goodies. I haven't actually chosen a pattern. I'm going to be opening mine every day, but I haven't actually chosen a pattern yet because it's just been so crazy busy. So I don't know. I was thinking, well, I have a couple of patterns in mind, so I need to actually choose one and get going. And then so that is the Storyteller Stitchery Advent. I do also have, well, technically I have 3 other Advents that I've purchased. One of them hasn't arrived yet, so one of them is a thread. It's like a different thread every day, so I'll share that when it does arrive. We'll kind of catch up on the missing days. I think it's supposed to be here Wednesday, which is the 3rd of December, so fingers crossed it arrives then. So it'll just be a few days late in opening. And then one of them is a regular daily Advent, so I can show you that. So that one is by the Stitchery, and it is embroidery based, and so we have, so my box got a little bit damaged in transit, but everything inside of it's fine, so it's just the box. And then inside we have kind of daily little things, so I'll open that each day. And I did already open today's, which is December 1st. So for today, we got a tote bag, and we got this little fabric panel with the little sayings on. So I'm assuming we're going to be cutting into this and using it in projects through the month as we open up the different days. And yeah, and then this side says Christmas at the Stitchery, which is not affiliated with Storyteller Stitchery. We both have Stitchery in the name, but it's 2 entirely different businesses. And I followed Nikki Franklin, who has this business for years. It's my first time getting one of her Advents. I have bought her patterns and some of her kits over the years. I think my mum had first introduced me to her. And so, yeah, this is my first time with one of her Advents. So I'm excited to open that each day. And then my other Advent that I got is also from a UK business, Sarah from, oh gosh, I always got her name wrong, Pretty Fabrics and Trims. Pretty Fabrics and Trims. I'll put links to them all below. And so I've had Sarah's Advents before. I had it not last year, but the year before. I think it was the Advent calendar that year. But what's cool about Sarah's is that she puts them into not a daily Advent, but a weekly. So every Sunday for 4 weeks, you open up 3 packages. So you get kind of a main project. So you'll open up the packet that has, goodies and treats for the main project. You get like kind of a small mini like standalone project each week. And then you also get a little packet with like extra little goodies and notions. So so Sarah's was wrapped with twine and all lovely in this box, and then I did open the first one yesterday, which was Sunday, November 30th, but that was on schedule with her recommended opening days. So even though it wasn't December 1st yet, I wasn't peaking early. That was kind of on schedule, and then every Sunday through December we'll open it up. So inside looks like this, and I have already, I'll show you in a second, week one. I have already taken that out, so it's a little bit empty because of that. And then, yeah, the little packets. So 3 of those every Sunday. And I'm super excited to work on this as well. So I'm going to keep everything in this little basket. So actually these are my little, different sets of tulip needles, which did not come in the Advent. I tucked it in there just to have it, but I should put that to one side because that's not part of this. But everything else in here is part of this. So yeah, I have this little basket, and so as I open each week, I'm going to be putting them into here, and that way I don't lose track of anything. And this will just kind of sit on the bookcase in the living room, so I have access to it easily. And then because there's lots of little pieces and it's kind of, there's lots of goodies to open. So yeah, this will just help me stay organized and make sure I don't lose anything. All right, so let's look at what it is. So the main project is this, and I knew the theme was like map of the North Pole, which that was like irresistible to me to order it. When I found that out, I was like, okay, I have to have it this year. So this is the panel. So that is the main project. And so this first week, I probably won't keep up with all of, like, I know for a fact I'm not going to have time to keep up with everything on a weekly basis. So week one is supposed to be up here working on the post office, which has some applique, and then Marshmallow Mountain and the compass over here. I know for a fact I'm not going to have that done in week one, and I'm going to be behind right from the get-go, but that's okay. I'll pick it up and enjoy stitching on it as I've got time. But I'm going to be also working on like some of my own things for the business, for Storyteller Stitchery, and some other things. So it's going to be fun to work on it, but I'm not putting any kind of stress or pressure that with deadlines or needing it to be done by a certain time, because that would take away the fun and the enjoyment for me. I want to just work on it as I have time and not create stress. So I'll show you through the month what I do get done, and hopefully it'll be something. But we're just gonna have fun with it. All right, so there's the little instructions for week one. You can see here a little sneak peek of the post office that we'll applique on. Isn't that adorable? I'm very excited to work on this. Here is some little pieces of fabric. So this is for the post office. And so there's, I think 3 different prints, all in blues. We have the threads. And let's see. So I think that was everything in the main project package. In the extra little bits, like I forget what she calls it, extra pieces or something like that. But remember, there's the 3rd packet that includes some extra stuff. So we got a little 4-inch embroidery hoop, little teeny tiny. We get, let's see, 4 different packs of needles. So each one is different. So we have English paper piecing. There's hand embroidery, needle turn, applique needles, and big stitch hand quilting needles. And then we also get this cute little box, which it came in this little packet of Aurifil threads. And so it's a mix of, it's 5 spools, they're all 100% cotton, and it's the 50 weight and the 80 weight threads. And there's a mix of colours, so there's a little red hiding in there, and just lovely little festive colours. So, and the instructions will tell us like when to use these threads versus these ones, I'm sure. So then the final packet for week 1 is the mini project, and it is this cute little elf called Figgy the Elf Felt Kit. So isn't he cute? And so you have the instructions, and then inside there are there's this little tag with the threads, the floss, the embroidery floss, and different pieces of felt, the different colours, and the instructions have the pattern to cut the felt. There's a little card to add threads onto if you want to take them off here and number them, which just makes it a little bit simpler for following the pattern. I think there's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 colours. And let's see, I thought it was something, oh yeah, and then actually this one I haven't opened yet. So this one is a little envelope that's inside the mini kit that says small pretty things. So maybe this is like buttons. Let's have a little look what we got in here. It is some twine, and then, oh, and then a cute little bell to go, let's see if I can even show you. It's this teeny tiny little kind of rusted bell. I don't even know if I can get it to focus. Maybe you can see that, just a little, it's so small it doesn't want to focus. It's a teeny tiny little bell that goes on the end of his hat. Isn't that adorable? So I'm very excited to work on these. Alright, let me put all this back together. And I have to say, like, I just love baskets like filled with, you know, all the lovely things. And so with the yarn advent, I'm pointing back there, I haven't actually put it back yet, I should do that. Let me put this back behind me. So yeah, so I love little baskets that you can kind of gather all of your little advent pieces, and if you don't have an advent calendar, like look through your stash and see what little projects you've been kind of putting off. So maybe you want to gather a basket of like, you know, like scrap yarn from projects, and you want to do some kind of like fun scrappy project that you can use up a bunch of different ends, and there's so many fun patterns out there now. Or maybe you have like an embroidery project that you have, or a cross stitch project that you've picked up and kind of set to one side. And so like just, you know, grab yourself a little basket and gather it together, and then it's kind of, you know, you're not losing pieces, but it's right there, you don't forget about it, because we get so busy in December. Like it's such a busy month, and it's so easy to like have it go by in the blink of an eye and do nothing. And again, I'm not putting pressure on myself to like achieve a certain amount or to get something done, but just having this to hand and being able to pick it up and kind of work on things through the month, just, I don't know, it just makes it much more fun. It makes me so happy to see it and look at it. So yeah, so I hope you have some fun plans coming up in terms of things to make. Oh, my last advent, I do have a little chocolate one as well, so I'll be having my little daily chocolate as a little treat. Alright, so another thing I want to share with you is some new Christmas inspired or Christmas themed needlepoint kits. If you are new to Storyteller Stitchery, you may not have seen our needlepoint kits in the past. Basically, I design and have printed these needlepoint canvases, and then the threads that come with it are all hand dyed. So, for example, I have 2 of these mini ones and then 1 large kit that I'm going to show you. So this one is Christmas pudding, and you can see, so I have partially stitched it so you can see the canvas behind it, and it looks like this before it is stitched, and this is it in progress. So you can see how, because I dyed a variegated yarn, so you have this kind of fun changing of color, which looks, you know, it looks cool for, maybe I'm biased, it looks cool for the pudding. And then we have, and it has some, I got some sparkle yarn, or I dyed some sparkle yarn up for this one, so you can kind of just subtly see the sparkle happening there in the up here in the white. And so yeah, so it's different stitches. I'm going to post on, I'll probably do some separate YouTube videos and share the different stitches that I did for the background versus the pudding versus up here this kind of sauce, I don't really know what to call it, and then the leaf and the berries. So anyway, that is one of the kits, Christmas pudding, and the other mini kit is Christmas tree, which is another sparkle one, and I think I'm going to come in and put some beads in here. The kit doesn't come with beads, but you know, you can do it however you want. The other thing I thought about doing was coming in with some of these colors like the yellow and the pink and the blue, and putting and doing some French knots in. So anyway, so this is it before it is stitched. And when you buy the kit, it does come with a bundle of yarn. So this one is the Christmas tree, and they are all hand dyed, and for these Christmas ones they're also all sparkle. For the Christmas pudding, it is this little bundle of yarn. So you have the variegated brown, the mint, the white, the green for the leaves. So just to remind you, that is it. And with the mini kit, you also choose, so it comes with 100% wool for stuffing it. So, and then you get to choose if you want the Santa fabric for the backing, so you could make it into an ornament or a cushion, or the little pears and bells. So both of these are Riley Blake fabrics. And so with the Christmas pudding or the Christmas tree, it does come with one or the other. You'll choose, oops, got it the wrong way around. You'll choose which fabric you want. And you may have noticed the little needle minder there. So that, let me see, do I have a needle to hand? I don't think I do. Anyway, it is with a magnet, and so you can attach it onto your stitching, whether it's needlepoint, embroidery, cross stitch, whatever it might be. And as you're stitching, you just, you know, will rest your needle on there, and the magnet kind of keeps it safe so you don't lose it. So I have the Christmas pudding needle minder, and I also did the matching Christmas pudding thread organizer. Let me see if I go behind it. There we go. And it's numbered 1 through 12. So you can keep track, and you can either write on your pattern. If you're doing cross stitch or embroidery, you can, you know, write the numbers on. Or you can also with pencil or pen. I mean, you can just keep it, you know, make it whatever you want, but you can also write on the back. So if you're using like DMC, for example, or Weeks Dye Works or something like that, you could write on what the colour is that way, or the symbol if that's easy to track. And then the other one I did for the knitting and crochet makers among us is the yarn colour organizer. So it's MC for main colour, and then you have CC, which is contrasting colour 1 through 3. So as you're working on, you know, if it's a colourwork shawl, sweater, whatever it might be, and you're reading the pattern and you have, you know, your different colours, and it tells you to switch to CC2 and then switch to CC1, and you're like, which one was CC1? So this, you'll just kind of snip off a little piece of each yarn and attach it on and keep it in your project bag. And so then when it tells you switch to CC2, you can look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's the one that I'm using now. So yeah, it's just a fun little way to keep track. The other thing that I'm adding in the store is some 7-inch stretcher bars. So these are optional. You don't have to stitch your canvas with a stretcher bar. So your canvas comes like this. It does come wrapped in with the, you know, tape on the edges, which just means it's not going to catch threads. It just keeps it nice and smooth. But if you want to add it to stretcher bars, like this is, then you get 2 packs because you need the 4 bars, and they slot together, they fit together. And then I'm also going to add the brass tacks, which these are needlepoint brass tacks. I'm adding those in the store as well. And so then you just basically use the, you know, like push pins, and attach the canvas onto the stretcher bars, onto the frame that way. And what it does is it keeps it taut, so as you're stitching, it warps less. Now on such a small project, you can, I mean, I've stitched plenty of times without the bars, and then you can block it, just pin it out and kind of, well, give it a good steam, kind of pull it into shape a little bit, pin it, steam some more if you need to, and then leave it pinned and leave it to just cool and dry, and that will help pull it back into shape if it kind of gets a little, you know, a little warped. But they are optional. They are totally optional if you want to use those or not. But the 7-inch is the right size for the mini. And so I haven't carried those in the store before because this is a newer size. The cauldron, which I still have the cauldron in the store, which is, let's see, can you see it? Right here, this little cauldron, which is finished like a little cushion. That's the same size. So you can finish this like an ornament. You can also finish it as a pin cushion, which is what I did with this one. It's the same size, but obviously more Halloween-y. So you can, like I said before, it'll come with fabric, this other green, and the wool stuffing. So it has everything in it, like the full thing to finish it. And then you can use this as a pin cushion or as a you know, ornament. But yeah, so these are new for this mini size. And grab some brass tacks if you don't have any and you want to use the stretcher bars. And then the last thing I want to show you is the large Christmas one that I designed, which is this gingerbread house. So, so you can see I've done some different specialty stitching on this one. Well, not specialty, but I've done some different stitches on this one. So the gumdrops here are just kind of a regular tent stitch. I did those continental. This one I think is a corduroy stitch. We've got some satin stitch. I can't remember what this one is called. And then we've got, instead of gumdrops, I did these little, I'm blanking on the name, but I'm going to do some videos on the different stitches that I did for this. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But yeah, it just adds like extra texture and color, and all of my needlepoint canvases are 14 count, which I love the size of, because first of all, it's just so easy to stitch. Like, it's not the teeny tiny, like an 18 count is nice, but it's this one is like a little bit easier on your eyes on a night when you're tired, and you get some nice coverage with it. And then with the hand-dyed wool threads, which are very soft, by the way, they're not that scratchy rough wool. It is beautiful wool, beautiful yarns. And this is the Gingerbread house one, so we have lots of sparkle yarn in this one as well. And this is the canvas. So the actual design is 10 by 10. The canvas is 16 by 16, so I give you a nice generous 3-inch border, which means if you do like to stitch with frames, like this one, you can put it on your 16-inch frame, and you have lots of space so that you're not running into the issue where you know your needle, you're kind of struggling to get the needle in, especially weaving in ends or kind of starting new ones when you're kind of buttoning up tight against the frame can be annoying. So yeah, so you have lots of extra space for that. And this is just the color reference, so if it's helpful you can add a little piece of each of the threads to the right colors here, so you know you can cross-reference it, but the colors are different enough on this one that you don't need to do that. And it does come with a full instruction booklet, all of them do, all 3 of them, and they have more kind of information on the colors and things like that. So yeah, so these are the needlepoint kits, and I'm also going to add the canvas only as an option, so if you want to use your own threads, that is an option. This one, the large one, comes with the canvas, the threads, all of them come with a needle and a threader. This one comes with a wooden flyer that has all of the colours already on, so you can kind of easily reference with the instruction booklet and see which is which. And it does not come with the wool stuffing or the fabric, only the mini. So the Christmas pudding and the Christmas tree, they both come with the 100% wool stuffing and the fabrics. All right. Let me know if you have any questions on those in the comments below. I will keep an eye out, but they will be going live. If I don't get them live tonight, which is Monday the 1st, then they're going to be live first thing tomorrow. So yeah, come and stitch along with me and get some nice easy fun stitching going. All right, I think we're going to call it a day for day 1 of Vlogmas. I hope everybody is having a wonderful start to December and is feeling all the cozy winter vibes and has some fun projects lined up ready to make. And thank you for, if you stuck it out till the end, thank you for watching. And if you are interested, please do like and subscribe and help support the channel, and I very much appreciate it. And until next time, bye.